Good evening, everybody. We are on a little bit early tonight just to get everybody here so that we know we're here. Do get set, get some notepad. If you're a bit more techie, get an iPad or tablet because we're going to share quite a lot of info tonight.
A brew.
We're going to be talking about defining your sales message and really sharpening up the message that you want to use as your tool to sell. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to start in about 2 minutes time. So do let us know if you're here, where you're from. Be great to know where you're from, who you are, and we will kick off in 2 minutes time. 2 minutes.
Yep.
60 seconds, and we'll be looking at your sales message and how you can refine it, how you can sharpen
2 minutes,
it up.
120 seconds. 60 seconds, 1 minute.
All right, let's go, don't we? So yeah, it's a tough old job trying to sell and convince people to buy from you. And tonight's session really is just about helping you understand the most. Now, I don't want to steal the thunder from the slides, but the most important bit. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
From Red Kite. We want to get the sharpest message possible that customers and clients and prospects can resonate with, see the value, and make a decision to either investigate more, in other words, start a conversation, a buying conversation, or help lead somebody to a buying conversation. So that's what we're really about tonight. And we will kickstart in 60 seconds. Let me just ping the LinkedIn notification to people to say the event is starting. And then off we go. Awesome. So let's dig into this session. Tonight's session is put together by Oxlep, the Oxfordshire Local Enterprise Partnership. They put these events on to support local businesses in obviously dealing with the current situation, but also they've got a great peer networks program. And the peer networks program is brilliant because it allows you to gain access to experts who can advise and support you in developing and growing your business. It's a fully funded program by Oxlep. So if you want to know more about that program, go to Oxlep's website and look for the Peer Networks program, and you can fill in a form to apply for that. Again, completely free, all centrally funded, but it will give you access to veterans of industry, experts, to really build your business and navigate the new world. So we'll start. The notifications have just kicked out on LinkedIn, so people will start to join in a second. So thank you so much for coming tonight. It's all about building your sales message and defining your sales message so that it packs a punch, and we're going to go through that tonight. There is no sales pitch as part of this message, but this session today, it is totally free, and we'll share it with you now. So just an intro. This is funded by Oxlep, Oxfordshire Local Enterprise Partnership. Lots of programs and support for businesses in Oxfordshire. So go check a look at what they're doing. Check out the Peer Networks program, fully funded support program too. There's the commercials. Okay, just quick intro to me. I'm Dean Seddon. I run Maverick, and we work with Oxlep to deliver training. You don't need to know a lot about me, but if you're curious, come find me on LinkedIn. And let's just have a look at your sales message, and let's look at why you need to build a sales message and why it's important and how it can make a difference to your sales opportunities. So the first thing, before we get into all of that, I just want to put some groundwork in about the market that you're working in, whichever market you're working in. There are some common things that are going on in any market. And it is this: at any given time, only a tiny percentage of your potential customer base is actually or actively looking for the product or service that you have to offer. So it's only a fractional amount of people who will be looking for what you've got to offer at any given time. And we put on here a pyramid which shows the 3%. Now here's the problem. Most businesses, most salespeople are trying to hunt down that 3%. And just as an aside before I go any further, after tonight's session, you will get value selling. You will not have an issue selling at higher prices or higher margins than maybe your market normally does, because this is the core crux of value selling. So what happens is that most businesses are hunting for the 3% of people who are looking right now for their product or service. And so naturally, when you want to find somebody who can buy now, you end up almost disregarding everybody else. So 97% of your customer base, you're literally not engaging with, not interacting with. You're just looking for the needle in the haystack, the client who goes, actually, we need a new website, or actually, we need a new accountant, or actually this. And so that is where the beauty contests happen. That's where the competitive processes happen. That's where people shop around and look for quotes. That's where people go, actually, let's get a marketing agency in and give them a pitch. It's the commodity end of your market. So you chase the active buyers, and it's quite expensive because you're literally looking for a needle in a haystack. And that pursuit has to go on relentlessly every single month. And the danger of that is you end up building a very transactional client base, and your conversion rate of whether you do proposals, whether you do quotes, whether you do tenders will be very, very low. So you end up with a transactional sales strategy. And we all want, and hopefully you'll chip in the comments if I've not put you to sleep, you'll chip in the comments that we want to sell at a decent margin. We don't want to be beaten down on price. We want to sell at a price where our customers value what we've got to offer. It's a no-brainer. So what goes wrong? Now, I'm not going to bore you with facts. I just want to lay a couple of things, and then we're going to move on into building the sales message. So this is some research that was done a number of years ago, and it spans years and years of data. And two veterans of the marketing and advertising world, Les Binnett and Peter Fielding, put this report together. It's endorsed by Marketing Week, the Institute of Professional Advertisers, and a ton of people. And it is this. Every business has this dilemma. We need to get orders in. We need to sell. We need to sell. We need to sell. Absolutely. The problem is that that kind of cycle just rolls every single month. More clients, we need more sales, 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 sales. And so the business never thinks beyond the sales target that's in front of them. They never think about the future beyond this month, this quarter, this year. And what they found in this study is that the businesses that focused on short-term sales activation, so sales now, sales now, sales now, buy our stuff, do you want a website, do you want an accountant, that kind of stuff, they ended up in an endless pursuit of that activity. It never compounded. It never layered up so that it just grew organically. They had to keep doing the same things over and over and over again just to stand still. Then what they looked at is that it's called brand building in this diagram, but I don't want that to put you off, because I don't mean about, just really great photos and imagery and a nice logo. What they're talking about here is where a business, a person is known and they are synonymous with solving a problem for a particular group of people. And what they found is when a business focuses on this, it actually reaps a compounding effect over the long term. So what does that mean to you? That means if you decided today, I'm going to do a brand building exercise on our company, and we'll go through the messaging and sales messages in a second. Don't worry, I'm not going to kind of deviate to something else. This will work for a small business or a large business. You don't have to have the whole of your marketplace to know who you are. You have to have the right people know who you are. So let's say, for example, you go away from this session today and tomorrow you focus on brand building. What they discovered is that within a 6-month period, the brand building exercise would yield more revenue than the sales activation. But you need that sales activation in the short term to get to that place. And so what I'm going to share with you tonight is, yes, we all need sales now. You need sales now. I need sales now. But if you build your sales and marketing messages right, not only will it sell for you today at a level, it will sell for you for years to come. And it makes your work really easy, really straightforward. So if you're still with me, please let me know in the chat that you're still alive. So recapping before we go into the next section. If you follow try and chase down the 3%, you'll burn a lot of time and energy to find them. You'll have to hunt down active buyers, and it will be a hunt, needle in a haystack. And of course, it resets every single month. Every month, we're back to zero again, start again, build it up. And what we all want is that residual effect of people knowing who we are, knowing what we can do for them, knowing the solutions we can bring, knowing the problems we can solve, so that they come and find us. So let's have a look at this. So how do you value sell? Now, I put digital channels in here just because of the time of what's going on right now. But the principles of this apply to physical, telephone calls, the works. And if anybody wants to, Lee Hargrave's alive and NX is here and Robin's already said hello. So great that you're still with me. It's really strange doing these sessions. And of course, you can't really see or interact.
Good to know, Eva.
And Eva's here. So you can't interact. So I say, are you still alive? Just so that I get some interaction to know that people are not, sat watching Corrie instead. So I want you to ask you a question. Do you know what your most valuable, do you know what your MVPP is? And people go, what's your MVPP? It's your most valuable pain point. Your most valuable pain point. Now, if you've never considered these pain points and how they work in your business, let's think about your own life. Let's think about what you're doing in life. How often do you put things off because it isn't a problem? It can be put off and it doesn't cause you any consequence. How often have you put off, say, doing something in the garden or that repair or a job you've been meaning to do? You put it off until something becomes so painful or so much of a problem, you take action. Now, if you think about your market like that pyramid with the people at the top going, we need to do something, they're looking for a solution. What if you could get to people before they realize they need a solution? What if you could get to people at the point when they are feeling uncomfortable about the situation and you can show them how you can make a difference? You see, those people, if you catch them early enough in the sales process, they don't go and look for other quotes. They don't go and look for different presentations. They actually buy from the first person. And actually 80% of people, businesses, buy from the first person they spoke to. So think about it like this. If you can understand your most valuable pain point, you can talk to your customers in a hyper-relevant way, whether that be digitally, whether that be on a phone call, whether that be on an email, whether that be in person. And how do you map out and find how do you map out and find your most valuable pain point? So let me explain how this works. So very simple diagram there on screen. You've got point 1 where people are right now. You've got point 2 where people want to get to. Now, whatever you're selling, whatever you're selling, every product or service and every customer has a point 1 and a point 2. And your job is to better understand the point 2s, the destinations your customers want to get to, and how your product or service can help them get there. So for an example, and I'll just use this on this session, you're here today because you want to build a more compelling sales message. So if I was here to sell to you today, which I'm not, but if I was here to sell to you, what I'd be looking to do is go, the people coming onto this session want to refine their sales message. So I have to, right now, they must feel that their sales message is not doing so well, or it doesn't feel sharp enough. And so my offer, if I was going to sell something, which I'm not today, by the way, would be to put a product or service on offer as the vehicle that helps you get from where you are today to where you want to be. If you're a business that wants to double your turnover in the next 5 years, right? Where are they today? They're here of £200,000 turnover. They're not sure about the next steps. They're maybe frustrated that it's took them so long to get this far. And my product, your service is a vehicle to get your customer or prospect from where they are right now to where they want to be. So why does this matter? People don't buy products or services to stand still. Their product or service has to achieve something for the customer. Whether it be a Lamborghini, whether it be copywriting, whether it be a website, whether it be legal services, it's all there to help the customer achieve something. So it's really important that you map out, what does your product or service help your customers achieve? And then if you think, if that's what they want to achieve, if that's the goal they want, what's the problem they've got right now? So if I want to get more leads, I might want a better website. So maybe the pain for a new website is actually a website that's not performing, a website that's not getting leads, a website that nobody's visiting. And then whether you go into Facebook groups or on LinkedIn, you can survey and ask people what's the biggest problem they have around, and people will comment and tell you how they're expressing their problem. So I did an article, and some of you, if you know me, you will have heard about this article. I wrote an article, and it's called The Reasons Why Coaches Struggle to Get Clients. The Reasons Why Coaches Struggle to Get Clients. I wrote this article 2 years ago. This article is still serving me today. And in that article, I explained some of the reasons why coaches would struggle to find clients and get clients to pay for their coaching programs. And I explained this in the article and then gave people an offer to contact me, and we'd do a strategy session with them to help them fix that problem and get paying clients into their coaching business. So I wrote this article about the pain, and the pain for that coach was they didn't have clients. They were struggling to get clients. So I used a very valuable pain point to develop a sales message, in this sense, in an article. You can use your most valuable pain point in emails, in conversations. You can even just ask prospects, what's the biggest challenge you've got in growing your revenue? And let them answer. And ask them questions about how do they think they're going to achieve it? What's their plan to achieve it? And prospects will volunteer this information. And part of asking them about the pain point not only tells you how interested they are, it also helps you understand how important they are. So let me give you a role play. I'll try and do a one-sided role play here. Let's say you're in a conversation with a prospect on the phone. That's probably an easy one. So you're having a conversation. Maybe you've asked them for a call on LinkedIn and they've said yes. So whatever you've done to get a call, you might have just called them. You know what your product does. So don't talk about your product. That's the gut instinct to do. Let me tell you about what we do. What you want to do is ask them, what's their biggest challenge about their website? What would you, if you had the choice, what would you want more out of your website? Now I'm not selling websites. I don't make websites, but I'm just giving an example. They'd probably say more traffic, or I want more leads. I want more inquiries. Okay. And how many inquiries are you getting right now? And 5, 6, 10, 100, whatever. And how many would you want? How many inquiries would you want? I don't know, 200. Okay, so you want 200. And how soon would you like those 200 leads coming through every month? I'm doing a role play here, so we're making numbers up for the role play. And the customer will say, tomorrow, now, in the next 6 months. Excuse me. So then you would ask the customer, do you have the knowledge and capability in-house to make that happen? Are you going to do that yourself? Well, we might do this, we might do that. Okay, so I understand now what the prospect wants. I understand a little bit more about their timescale. I understand the importance. Now I can return back to it and say, okay, I understand you want more leads on your website. You want 200. This is the time frame you'd like it to happen. It's really important, and these are some of the things that you're thinking about to try and achieve that. So all I've done is mirrored back to them based on the pain points they've said. I've mirrored back to them what they've said, and I've asked a few questions to help me. And now I can tell them that I can help you get 200 leads every month from your website. I can reconfigure the website and redevelop the website so that it's capable of doing it. And I can work with, if we work together, I can get it done by that date and get you achieving your 200 leads by that date, or within near enough on that date, depending on what your decisions are. And this is how I would do it. So I would build a new SEO website so that we get the 200 leads. The reason I've just ended a quick role play, but the reason you ask the particular questions is, first of all, you're getting the customer to gauge their intent and show you, but you can also tailor your conversation and future follow-up based on what's the biggest pain that they say first. What's the biggest issue they say first? And you can build your presentation and your conversation off the back of that. Now, as you go, you'll probably discover new things, but this is just consultative selling. But what you're doing is starting with the pain point first. How does this work digitally? Well, it works digitally too. If you're posting on LinkedIn, if you're sending messages or outreaching people on LinkedIn, ask them a pain point centric question. It gets their attention and it holds people's attention. So if you think about it, and you should, as a business owner or a representative of a business that's responsible for sales or revenue, you should be the expert in your customers' pain points that your product or service can solve. Because at the end of the day, remember, people buy your product or service because it gets them from their point 1 to point 2. It gets them from A to B. Your product or service is a bridge over the gap between where they are and where they want to be. Hopefully that makes sense. You're not all fell asleep. So what does the MVP allow you to do? The most valuable pain point will allow you or your sales team to cultivate the 3% of the market who are actively looking, but more importantly, to cultivate the 97% who are not associating their problem with your service. So for an example, let's say I want more leads in my business. We'll use that analogy again. I want more leads in my business. At the earliest stages of the buying process, I don't care how I get more leads in my business. But the more of a pain it becomes, the more I will look for answers, and I will reach a decision that I want this answer. So if I catch prospects early enough in their pain, I can guide them to my answer. But if I catch them later, they will start to fix their route out of pain. So let me give you an example. If you catch me early on in the pain, we need more leads, I might be happy to go and do TV commercials. I might do Facebook ads. I might do telesales. I might do direct mail. I might do LinkedIn marketing. I might do all these different things, SEO, early on, because I'm looking for an answer to the pain. But the longer I live with my pain, the more I will eliminate solutions to my pain. So I'll go, oh, I'm not doing TV ads, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, I'm not doing the other. And eventually I get to, I'm going to do SEO. And then if you're selling video production or you're selling Facebook ads, you haven't got a chance with me because I've settled my mind, I want SEO. But if we ride back to when we find the person with the pain, they might not be looking for SEO. Yeah, if you put a Google ad or a Facebook ad in front of them saying, do you want SEO or do you want video production, they'd probably say no. But if you put an advert or a sales message in front of somebody that said, do you want more leads in your business? They'll go, yes. And then you can show them how your product or service shows people a route to where they want to get to. So your competition early on is not another person that does what you do. It's actually the customer deciding to do nothing or buy from you. It's apathy versus you. And this message, the pain point, can be turned into social posts. It can turn your content marketing into sales assets, and you can literally use it to, in email subject lines, put the pain point in a subject line, watch it get opened. Put the pain point as a link to a PDF download in an email, it gets downloaded. Pain really does sell. It might not seem like a sexy message, but people want to leave pain and find an outcome. And if you can resonate with their pain, they'll listen to you. And again, it can turn outreach into conversations. So your MVPP is the most powerful tool you have to sell. Speak to the gap in their journey. Where are they now? Where they want to be. Map that out. You can't see it here because my preview on maybe you can see it a little bit. But if you look behind me, I've got a glass wall behind me, and I actually have my customer pains written down on the wall, on the glass here, because these are the most important messages I have in my business. And you should, I'm not saying write them on the glass wall, but you should have them not buried away in a big filing cabinet in a document. You should have them up in front of you to remind you these are the key messages, these are the key agitations and frustrations our customers have, so that we never lose sight of. People buy what we've offered to get somewhere, to achieve something, to eliminate a problem of some kind. So do you know them? Not just, yeah, we know them, they're kind of like this. Do you know them? Do you like instinctively know them? It's really good to get this into your culture. If the sales team, if people know these things, it makes your sales conversation so much easier, because the relevance of what you've got to offer is incredible. People just get you, and it seems like you get them. So I want to just pivot a little minute and just think about, you've got to punch through with a sales message. Now, if you've got a lot of different customers, a lot of different products, it can be really tempting to go on a prospecting strategy, which is one day do this and one day do this and one day do it. The problem is that you can't focus your energy, you can't focus your effort, and you can't focus your own thinking about one particular thing and learn from it. So this is what I encourage people to do, particularly if they've got to go on a sales drive. If you've got to go on a real sales drive, perhaps for the next 3 to 6 months, you've really got to kind of sweat it out and work at it. And I'll start from the bottom. We call this the one strategy. It's a very simple strategy you can use either for one salesperson or a small business, or a sales team could use this strategy for a period of time. So the one offer, in the consultancy world, they call this land and expand. In other words, do you have an offer that you can convert a client and then grow that client's spend? So do you have something that the client can buy into that you can increase their spend as a result, upsell them post-sale? So that might be a small consulting project, it might be a small piece of work, something that gets them on board, gets them to experience working with you, and gives you the relationship to expand the business that you do with them. So that's one offer. Then the one message, again, is a very clear message of this is what I can do for you, which is leading to the one offer. And then the problem is effectively the key, most valuable pain point that your offer solves. Excuse me. So what's the pain that your prospective customer has to be experiencing that your offer, your entry-level product, your service, whatever it is, solves? And then who does it solve that problem for? So one client with one problem, one very clear message leading to one very clear offer of a product or service. Now, this could be a product that's £500. It could be a product that's £5,000. It could be a service that's £100 or £100,000. The principle is the same. It's about focusing your message in digital channels, in person channels, to land and expand clients. It's actually easier to grow a client than create a client. So what I'm saying to you is create a client at a low level with a plan to expand that relationship. So if you have your £500 or £1,000 or a £10,000 product or service, what's the next step in that sale? Is there a £10,000 thing? Is there a £50,000 thing? So it's land and expand. One client, one problem, one message, one offer. So how does this work in a digital sense? Because I know everybody's keen to understand about digital methods because of where we are. Although there seems to be, touch wood, light at the end of the tunnel of this. And in 4 or 5 months, we might be back to the world as it used to be. One key thing I want to add, and then we'll do some questions as well, and maybe some scenarios. So if you've got some questions, for an example, if you want to say, this is what I do in the chat, and what do you think about my pain point? I can give some examples. So how does this work in a digital landscape? So one of the key things you should be doing with your pain points and your strategy one strategy is using the power of intent. So intent is where you literally put things out there to see if people resonate with it. So really key messages that you put out in front of people to see if they resonate. So an intent-based message that I would put out there, for an example, is my article, The Reason Why Coaches Struggle to Get Clients. Why? Because if you're a coach and you see this, you're interested. And if you're a coach who's struggling to get clients, you're really interested. So then I know the people who engage with me, the people who respond to that, are engaging with me because of the intent I've laid out in the article. In other words, the headlines, the subject lines, the key points you put out there, do they tell you anything about the people who are watching or listening or engaging with you? If somebody makes an inquiry and says, hey, I read your article about the reasons why coaches struggle to get clients and I'm a coach, you can bet your bottom dollar they have a problem getting clients. So this is how this works. Intent with a most valuable pain point, a focused strategy, and intent-based questions, intent-based headlines, subject lines, conversation starters can really impact the way your conversation goes. And if we go back to that role play I did 10, 15 minutes ago, think about the questions I asked in that role play. All of those questions were helping me understand the person's intent. How important is this problem for you? When would you like it fixed by? What's your plan to fix this in-house? What's your ideas about how you can get there? Because I'm trying to understand the person's intent so I can tailor my response to them. I can tailor the message to them. So for an example, in my article, The Reason Why Coaches Struggle to Get Clients, which I've published on my LinkedIn profile, I know that I'm writing that article for a coach who struggled to get clients. So I can make that article really, really relevant to them. What are the challenges they're facing? What are the frustrations they're facing? What are the scenarios that they've dealt with? So rather than writing an article that's a bit wishy-washy about the struggles of getting clients and being bland and vague and generalized, I can be really, really specific. And the people who have that problem will pay attention, and the people who don't have that problem will stroll on past. Now you might think, but wait, I don't want people to stroll on past. No, you don't. So, but you have to resonate, your message has to resonate with someone. And when you vague things or you generalize, you appeal to nobody. So what you can do, and I'll just use my examples, the reason why coaches struggle to get clients, I can put that one out. I could drop it into some coaches. I could go to their website and say, hey, just wanted to share this link with you. Hope things are going well, COVID, whatever, and drop them that link. But I could also make the link of the reason why accountants struggle to get clients, or the reason why lawyers struggle to get clients, or the reason why management consultants struggle to get clients, and tailor it again to the person. And I'm thinking about the problems that particular groups face. I'm not thinking about particular niches and then going, how am I going to sell it? I'm thinking about the problems that particular people face and how my product can help them, or my service can help solve that. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody's still alive? Awake?
It's very, very quiet.
Yeah.
Well,
Robin's
Robin. Great, Robin.
Unless he's replying to the chat, the message. So let me just kind of crystallize this so that you don't miss this. At any given time, just 3% of people are looking for exactly what you offer. The vast majority of people have not settled on a solution yet. And they could choose your solution and move into an active buyer, or they could choose something totally different that they think will get them to where they want to be, point 1 to point 2. Your biggest asset is the valuable pain point, the most valuable pain point that your customer has, that will prompt them, that will give them the kick up the butt to make a decision. And so your message to those people, your sales message, is wrapped around where they are, where they want to be. And your service, I don't wish to undermine how good you are or how talented you are or how great your product is, but if your product doesn't get anybody to a destination, to an outcome or a result or a goal, it's worthless. People buy your product or service for what it helps them achieve. They don't buy it for the sake of it. There are a tiny proportion of people who are gadget buyers. They buy any old gadget, even if they don't use them. But they get excited about what it could do. And they imagine, and customers imagine, and prospects imagine, if I do this, I could get to here. Or this would help us do this. Or this could help us do that. And your service is about that. It's a vehicle. It's a tool to get your customer somewhere. So remember that. 3% are looking exactly what you want to offer, and that's where the commodity sale is. Everybody else is just looking for a solution to a problem. They haven't settled on the remedy or the medicine. They haven't settled on paracetamol or ibuprofen. They just have a headache. Your customers have headaches. They haven't settled on whether they buy you or something completely different. They just have a headache right now. Get to them whilst they've got a headache. And then one strategy helps you focus. One strategy helps you focus so you don't just spray and pray lots of different messages all over everywhere, all different offers, all different products, all different services. It focuses it in and says, for a period of time, let's build this out. Let's do something. Let's get some people over the line and grow those relationships. Let's not scattergun. Let's not jump around. Let's focus in one clear strategy for the next 3 months, 6 months, and let's go after one client, a specific problem, very clear message, and a clear offer.
And that's why it's so important to have the, for the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely important, because that one problem is the big deal. That's the thing that causes them to take an action and make a choice and make a decision. And then intent. Remember that every question you ask, I'm more than happy to do some questions in a second.
Great ones from Lee.
Every question you ask and every headline you use, every subject line, every post, does the headline title tell you anything about your customers and where they are? Yeah? Intent. You need to know that people are serious. You need to know that people are engaging with that problem. So let's put the problem out there. Let's make it hyper targeted so that people who engage with it, people who view it, we know they're a coach that struggles to get clients, to put it in my analogy. Okay, so we got some questions.
So Sam Expert TV says it makes perfect sense. Lee Argrave, hi Lee, long time no.
Lee, you may raise a very good question. How does the marketing team understand the pain points of the customers? So Lee, one of the things that is I do is I will go into Facebook groups, I will go into LinkedIn groups, I will go on LinkedIn posts, and I will even email customers and ask them to fill in a poll. I mean, literally a social media poll. And I did one the other day for small business owners, and I got ridiculed for it, but I did it to find the intent. So what I did is I went into a Facebook group of small business owners and I asked the question, as a business owner, what is your biggest struggle? Getting leads, closing sales, or converting, inquiries? Now, some people came back and said, duh, most of those are the same thing. Not quite. I'm looking, when I'm trying to find the intent, for how my customer says it, not how I, as a service provider, says it. So I went and asked this question. I got 118 votes, and overwhelmingly, it was converting sales. I think it was converting inquiries, something like that. So the big problem was not that in that poll, it wasn't I can't get leads. It was actually how do I get the leads to convert was the biggest challenge people were facing in that group. So I'm looking on always at the phrases that they use. So Lee, whilst it might be good to ask the salespeople, I would actually go out and do some research by polling, looking at what people are posting on social media. Even Quora is a great place to ask questions like that. Quora is brilliant for asking questions. Go on, post a question and see how people answer. And you're not just studying the answers, you're studying the words and the choice of words about how they answer so that you can understand it better. And the salespeople can feed into that.
Oh, yeah. And Sam, I think I'll go on to the second one of Sam.
So, Sam, your first point, I'd need to know a little bit more about what you do. Oh.
For example, I know I can save 5 to 15% of spend in every case. Never failed in 15 years. Not a single time.
So,
they are just, okay, great. We
so,
have priorities.
Sam, think about why would somebody... Oh, Alex.
It's Alex.
Alex, think about Why would somebody want to save money? Forget the area that you save money, right? Think about what are the problems a business could be facing or a person could be facing where they want to save money. So is it revenues going down? Is it their margins under pressure? Is their profitability under pressure? Think about those questions. Like, for an example, if somebody rang me up and contacted me and said, we can save you money on your utilities, I will completely ignore that, even if they say to me, and some of them argue with me on the phone, actually. They say, well, you mean you're not interested in saving £300 a year? And I go, no, because the hassle of talking to them will cost me more than £300 and going through that whole process. But if somebody said to me, do you want to know how we can optimize your business for profitability? Or you could target, for an example, Alex, businesses that are scaling back and reducing cost in their organization through LinkedIn. You can start to show your message about how you're helping people save money and why it matters. So ultimately, you might say, I don't know.
Because the pain point might not be the 5 or 15% save.
No, the pain point is we need to get our costs down. We need to get our overheads down. And your offer is, yeah, we'll help you get your overhead costs down. Very, very simple. It's very important you get your costs under control. Let us look at this little area. You haven't got the time to be focusing on this. There's bigger fish to fry, but we can get you 5 or 10%. Just sign the forms. We'll do the rest. Done. But you're targeting it to the bigger pain. The bigger pain is we've got to get these costs under control. We've got a business that's maybe upside down a little bit because of the pandemic. We need to cut costs. They don't have time. So pain point one, we've got to save money. As a business, we've got to save money. But your saving might be, your bit might be this total buried somewhere and like bottom of the pile. So you can actually go pain point one, save money. Secondary pain point, they don't have time to do it. So, okay, you want to save money, your business is under pressure, margins under pressure, profitability is under pressure, maybe revenue's dipping. We can help you tackle that problem. We can do a little bit that will take no time and take away 5 or 10% of cost there while you're looking at all the other stuff. Do you want to do it? And I know I did that really quickly, but that's what we've got to do. So Sam, think about the problem they've got. They're probably, and I don't know what your 5 or 10% of stuff is, but if it's, say, utilities, nobody's thinking, I really need to save money on my utilities. Well, I tell you that, there are a few people, yeah, but they're probably the people who will just do it themselves anyway. Think about the bigger picture and go, is a business want to save money? Is their margin under pressure? Is their profitability under pressure? And then say, you don't have time to do it all. You know, you've got bigger fish to fry. Fish. Let us do this bit. We'll take it off your hands.
And yes,
millions,
yes,
IT millions. Okay. So another one there is, obviously you've got costs. You don't know what costs you've got. You can't, you know, if it's a finance director, by the way, that you're talking to, they have no idea whether they need to save money or not. And without you, well, I'm going to use a profanity, so I apologize in advance. There's a lot of tech BS. I didn't use the profanity. There's a lot of tech BS, and finance departments can be very suspicious of IT departments because they always need that other thing. It's absolutely essential they have that other thing. And so finance can become quite jaded and may want you to come in to kind of go, I'm giving you a business idea here, maybe, Sam. Maybe the finance department's frustrated at the BS coming out of the IT department, whether that's legitimate or not. And they want somebody to come in and show them where the BS is and how they get rid of it.
Any more questions? Thanks, Alex, for your questions.
Yeah. Alex, I always call you Sam, by the way. But, Alex, there's one thing you can be certain of. Every IT project will overrun and cost more than they say it will, which is a brilliant tool in your arsenal talking to a finance department.
Oh, yeah. Always does.
Remember that anything in the IT department always costs more and always takes longer.
Any more questions?
So just to reiterate, get to the prospects before they decide on their pain relief. In other words, paracetamol, ibuprofen.
Robin, yes.
Yes, Robin.
IT buy and
correct.
finance buy will have different symptoms. Oh, yeah.
Just as an aside, if you want to come find me, you can connect, friend request me on Facebook, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Absolutely, I accept. I will accept. I won't reject you. Get to the people before they decide on a remedy. Get to the people before they decide on a remedy. Before you're in the running with other people to be the next IT company or the next marketing agency or whatever. First thing. Next thing, absolutely nail your most valuable pain point. In fact, we've got a worksheet you can have. If you want to drop us a line or drop me a line, I'll send you a PDF worksheet that will help you understand your MVPP in more detail. Happy to give it to you.
If we're going to put in the our email in there, so
I'll type my email address, our email address in here. And if you want that worksheet, we'll happily give it to you. Please do also give some feedback to Oxlep. If you've got value from this session, please do give them some feedback. One, it's good for us. And two, it helps Oxlep know what sessions to run and what not to run.
Robin is asking 2 questions. How can I get in the habit of doing this? And what is a good starting point?
Okay, so Robin, here's a really easy way to test this. So absolutely get our worksheet. We'll give it to you. It will help you think about it. It's 2.5 hours. It's not 2.5 hours. A couple of hours of hard work. But once you've done it, you'll be in the swing of it. And then what I would encourage you to do is get onto, say, LinkedIn and start talking about those pain points in posts and watch the stats of the posts, because you'll start to learn by what I call, field testing your message out there and see what responses you get. You won't convert people off content initially, but some people, if you're connected on LinkedIn, will start to bite. But you can use it in the short term as a testing message. And I would encourage you, Robin, once you've done our little worksheet, is get these pain points written somewhere right in front of you so you never deviate, because it always works. And as long as you become, over time, the master of your customers' pain points, you will do absolutely fine in any sales conversation. And when I'm talking to prospects, 2 days ago, I'll share a story with you. And we're not on a group call, so I can't put somebody else on with you. But Terry was one of our team. Terry, head of ops, was on a call with me with somebody who does major transformation projects within businesses. Now, I've never done any of that kind of transformational business stuff, but I was able to articulate a sales pitch and present a sales pitch for that client in 15 minutes based on them telling me the 7 top pain points they had. And they said to me afterwards, have you done this before? Have you done digital transformation before? And I said, no. As long as I understand your pain points, as long as I understand the outcomes and the pain points, particularly the pain points, I can talk to anybody about anything. Because ultimately, if I know that, all the other details are just confirmations. The testimonials, the track record, the features, all are validating that and proving that you can solve the customer's pain. So all those little tick boxes and all these little buttons and features you've got in whatever gadget you're selling or whatever service you're selling are actually just evidence that you can solve the pain. That's all it is. It's just evidence. Oh, Robin, hopefully that answers your question. Start with our worksheet. It's quite in depth. It asks you some tough questions, but once you've answered them, you'll be flying. Any more questions? Any more questions? I have to leave when we do any more questions. I have to say and pause, because there's about a 12-13 second delay on the feed tonight. So
have we gone through all the slides?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
If there's any more questions,
thanks, Robin.
I'm more than happy to, if you want to jump on LinkedIn or find me on friend request me on Facebook, I'm more than happy to just have, a back and forth on chat or what have you. I'm not looking to sell you anything. This has been put together by Oxlep. But if you're struggling with it, just drop me a line on LinkedIn or Facebook. Happy to help. So guys, please do check out Oxlep's other events. Go look at what they're doing. If you want some support through your business, highly recommend the Peer Networks program. It's totally free. You just fill in the forms and apply online, and you'll have a call with a member of the Oxlep team. I'm not sure the exact details, but you get access to all of these people who've been where you've been or know more on the journey that where you are and can be your advisors, and they're not looking to profit from you. So they're not there to kind of go, oh, if I tell them this, I can upsell them or anything. They're actually independent advisors that are there to help you, funded by EU, UK grants. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you want to do anything favor for us, please do come find us. Give us a review on Google and Trustpilot if you got value from this.
Do a like on the video.
Yeah, and give us a like on the video. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great rest of the week, and maybe I'll see you on next Wednesday's session we're running for Oxlep right back here. You can register on their website, but we've got another session next Wednesday. So thanks so much for coming. And thanks, Andrea. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.